When a middle or high school student struggles with reading, one of the hardest questions for teachers is, where do I start? Should I start with decoding? What about vocabulary? What about fluency? Should I start with main ideas? What about inferences, closed reading, test preparation? The problem is that struggling readers often receive disconnected practice without a clear progression from one skill to the next. Before we get into the 9 steps, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I share practical reading strategies, intervention ideas, and classroom-ready resources designed for students in grades 6 through 12. The secondary reading blueprint is built around a 9-step progression that moves students from foundational reading support toward increasingly independent academic reading. So step 1, we're going to build strong readers. The first step is to identify what the students need and establish the routines they will use throughout the instruction. This includes assessments, goal setting, comprehension monitoring, reading routines, progress monitoring, and helping students become more confident and independent readers. Before we decide what to teach, we need to know where the breakdown is happening. Step 2, strengthen word reading, morphology, and fluency. Some older students still struggle at the word and sentence level. They may need explicit instruction in decoding multisyllabic words, prefixes and suffixes, Greek and Latin word roots, fluency, and sentence level comprehension. This step gives students tools for reading the academic vocabulary and complex sentences they encounter across secondary classrooms. So step 3, understand complex text. Once students can access the words and sentences, they need strategies for making sense of increasingly difficult passages. Students learn to monitor comprehension, use fix-up strategies, close reading with a purpose, recognize text structures, determine main ideas, summarize, make inferences, and use context to understand vocabulary. Step 4, think critically about the informational text. Now students move beyond understanding what a text says. They begin evaluating it. Students analyze claims, reasons, evidence, faulty reasoning, bias, perspective, multiple texts, charts, graphs, infographics, and visual arguments. The question shifts from what does this say to is this well supported and should I trust it? Step 5, understanding literature. Literary reading requires another set of analytical skills. Students examine character traits and motivation, plot and conflict, inference and theme, point of view and perspective, tone and figurative language, symbolism, foreshadowing, and irony. The goal is to move students from simply retelling a story to explaining how and why the text works. Step 6, write about reading. Reading and writing are closely connected. Students learn how to turn their thinking into clear, evidence-based responses. They practice citing evidence, explaining their reasoning, organizing analytical paragraphs, and responding to text in writing and discussion. Step 7, develop research and media literacy. Students also need to know how to navigate the information they encounter outside of traditional textbooks. They learn how to evaluate sources, recognize misinformation, conduct research, and make responsible decisions about digital and media information. Step 8, read across the curriculum. Reading demands change from one subject to another. Students learn how to approach science, social studies, technical, and workplace texts, apply their reading strategies across different content areas. The goal is for reading strategies to transfer beyond the ELA classroom. Step 9, prepare for independent success. The final step is helping students apply everything they have learned more independently. Students build reading stamina, prepare for assessments, strengthen college and career reading skills, and learn how to approach unfamiliar text with a plan. This progression is important because not every struggling reader needs the same starting point. A student who struggles with multisyllabic words may need intensive work in step 2. Another student may read accurately, but need support with comprehension or inference. Another may understand a text, but struggle to evaluate evidence or explain their thinking and writing. The 9 steps provide a roadmap. They help teachers identify what students need, explicitly teach those skills, and then gradually move students toward a more complex and independent reading. That is the purpose of the secondary reading blueprint. Not random worksheets, not isolated strategies, a structured progression that helps struggling readers build the skills they need for middle school, high school, college, work, and life. If you work with struggling readers in grades 6 through 12, please like this video and subscribe to the channel and follow along as we continue exploring each part of the secondary reading blueprint. You can find more information about all of my programs at helpyoulearn.org, and I will see you in the next video.